I don't see that because the SecDef, right? Because I mean, for a myriad of reasons, not the least of which is that he's embarrassed. He's pulling a Gates right now, and he's totally unqualified at the same time. And
wasn't he dishonorably discharged from the military because of his tattoos?
Oh, very well may have. I don't know. The Crusader tattoos that he has are not directly exclusionary, and thanks to the Iraq War, the rules on that got really lightened, unless somebody can fill me in on that part of it. But either way, the fact that you're going to have this like drunken sex pest from Fox News running, the Department of Defense,
not believe in washing his hands,
right? Who doesn't believe in germs, right? So
I can't see them; they're not real.
Right. Which is really useful in somebody fighting a military battle where bioweapons might be.
I'm a man of faith.
Right.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
The following program, The Family Meeting, is sponsored by Polaris Insurance Agency, and to the extent applicable, their guests. The views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of Heartland Signal, LLC, or its management.
Hey folks, it's Richard Chu, also known as Bad, the Black Asian Dude. Yes, we're on The Family Meeting, but right now, you've probably heard about my new show, Chu's Views, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on WCPT. Chu's Views is about pragmatic, progressive conversation with a bit of smash mouth talk. Tune in 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday on WCPT, Progressive Talk.
It's Audrey Wilson, and I'm the president and CEO of the Shriver Center on Poverty Law. You can visit us at www.povertylaw.org. Hey, cousin. Now it's time for the Family Meeting News.
I'm Michelle Peltier, and here's what we're following on the Family Meeting. It was one of the busiest weekends of the year for holiday shopping, and this past Saturday, the spotlight was on local mom and pop shop. Hundreds of stores across Chicago took part in Small Business Saturday. A recent small business economic impact study found that 68 cents of every dollar spent at a small business stays in the local community. Also, remember to spend your dollars with Black-owned businesses this holiday season and beyond. Be careful where you park at night in Chicago this weekend, as the city's winter overnight parking ban went into effect Saturday night. If there's no snow on the ground, parking is banned between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. on 107 miles of the city's main streets between December 1st and April 1st to make sure snowplows, CTA buses, and emergency vehicles can move freely on the city's busiest streets should snow start falling. Cars parked on the impacted streets during the winter overnight parking ban will be towed at the car's owner's expense. I don't know what happened. I was reading anyway. Chicagoans can visit shovels.chicago.gov for a map of streets impacted by the ban and to view the city's snowplows in real time during a storm. The Chicago Bears have fired head coach Matt Eberflus. This is the first time in franchise history that the Bears have fired a head coach in the season. Offensive coordinator Thomas Brown has been tapped to replace Eberflus, who was in his third year with the team. What may have ultimately sealed the 54-year-old coach's fate was how Chicago lost to the NFC North leading Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. In the waning seconds, with the Bears driving down the field with a chance to try for a game-tying field or go-ahead touchdown, Eberflus failed to call a timeout to preserve time on the clock. With Brown's elevation to interim head coach, he becomes the Bears' second Black head coach in history after Lovie Smith. With his latest promotion, he takes over a team on a 6-game losing streak. Oh my. Please visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. You can subscribe and follow us on Twitter. Stop judging me right now. Now I'm hot. You can subscribe and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, Spoutable, Blue Sky, and also subscribe and follow us on YouTube. to view us live and receive reminders when we're on the air. I'm Michelle Peltier. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, family meeting cousins. As you know, we created it
Yeah, Michelle was cutting in and out a little bit throughout that.
to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the family meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
My name is Susan Manuel, President and CEO of ABL Consulting Group, Incorporated, www.ablconsulting.net, and I listen to the family meeting.
This is Attorney Gina Smith of Jamii Law, JAMII Law.com. I listen to the family meeting.
Yeah, y'all, it's family meeting time. And we're in the worldwide headquarters right now. Believe it or not, we are here. Yay! Yeah.
Happy Sunday, y'all.
Drunk ass Adrian's here too. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, man, grab your phones. Find us on social media and all the places that Michelle told us to go. Also, Spoutables in there somewhere. Blue Skies in there. Like everything's popping up now as places to go instead of where we've been going. So, yeah, keep looking around for us. We're everywhere. In the space shuttle cockpit, the ragged ass rust bucket that is WCPT, Curly Top and Bobby Longstroke are doing their things for us.
Hi.
That's right. Hey, man, you can become a patron of our broadcast for as little as $5 a month. Visit the webpage, tfmradioshow.com. Mash the link to become a patron. The number is 773-763-9278. 773-763-9278 is the number. Happy holidays, guys. Oh, that's
Whatever.
you say whatever.
Whatever.
Don't you see the green? I'm Scrooge.
What happened to the other glove, Michelle?
I only wore one. I have both, but I only put on one today.
Okay.
I actually have a hat too with the Scrooge on it.
Okay.
I'm a bah humbugger.
What happened to her?
I don't know.
I've been a bah humbugger for years.
Yeah, I don't
Have
know.
you? Okay.
Oh yeah, I own it. It's okay. I'm
All right.
okay with it.
It's not Christmas is not your thing.
It's not my thing.
It hadn't been my thing for a few years either.
Mm.
I just wanted to get over with.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm ready for March.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
tolerate
wait. You gotta wait on your
Yeah.
hands.
I tolerate it, but that's about it.
Yeah. I don't give gifts or anything, do cards anymore. I don't do any of that stuff. And I tell the people that love me to do the same. Don't get me anything.
Stella makes me enjoy it.
You said don't get you anything?
Don't give me anything.
Okay, good. I'm
All for that. Well, I got
Yeah.
you all something though.
well, thank
Let's
you. for that.
Stella. Courtesy of Stella. It's always
It's
courtesy
our
of
Stella.
Stella.
Yeah,
Stella.
Stella's the one. Stella's the one. Yeah.
Since we brought up her name, I want to ask Stella to do something if she's listening right now.
I know she is.
I want her to call today. She's been trying to call and call and call, and she freaks herself out about it.
You
So
gotta think about
Stella,
calls.
call, girl. That's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, so check this out, man. We passed around Michelle didn't watch it. The Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Just gonna throw me under the bus.
I'm
like
just,
that,
we can
probably.
catch you up though. I'm just saying it so
Mhm.
people have context. That's all.
All right.
We can catch you up, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll watch it tonight.
We can catch you up. For some reason I grabbed, well, actually I know why I grabbed, because I was talking to my cousin and we got to talking about any number of things. And I introduced him to Ta-Nehisi Coates, the book in particular, The Message. And so I went back and read the essay he wrote in the Atlantic, The Case for Reparations.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't read the essay in that video, but he spoke to it, and he showed a clip from the film that they did as a part of it as well. And it got me thinking about in this environment. Now that y'all finally calmed down, have you calmed down now?
Not really.
No.
I mean, it's.
You're not still weepy all the time.
I'm not
man.
weepy. I'm angry.
Angry.
Angrier.
Okay. Well, we'll take that. But you know, the reality's here, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody knows what's getting ready to happen.
Yep.
So I got to thinking about what can we in this environment advocate for. Like Bernie Sanders said once, you have to advocate for what you can get done.
Mhm.
What the other side, the Klansmen on the other side are really adept at is using the rules, the laws and the rules and the ordinances that were put into place to prevent them from their activities against the people for whom the laws were written. And one such case now is the effort by the Orange Menace to deliver reparations to white college students for having suffered through the ills of DEI and affirmative action. Oh, it's such a shame. Oh, as an adjunct, did you guys see RFK talking to a group of, I think he was talking to a group of black
He
people.
was talking to black people. Yes, he was.
So you know what I'm talking about
Oh my
then.
gosh.
He basically said, listen,
Ooh, child.
if you teach your kids to toughen up and deal with racism, then racism won't matter.
Right.
See, this is the thing. I want to know who those people were in that room and what they thought about what he was saying.
Do you
to
really
them.
want to know?
I do. I'm curious about that.
I'm not even that, I'm not, what
'Cause
I'm
how
curious
you gonna
about,
let that guy do that.
I'm thinking that, right? Why didn't one of y'all stand up and say, hey, man, hold on, man.
right.
I guess it's protocol or whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, so since they're advocating for reparations, I don't know if they're calling it that. Are they calling it reparations for white kids?
No, that's not the language no.
Whatever the term they use to describe it. Yeah. Anybody who's discriminated against, yeah, they should receive compensation, right? We agree with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, fundamentally, we agree with that, right?
Sure.
Don't humor me now. I'm trying to get this, make a
No,
point.
yes,
here.
yes,
Right.
yes.
You should be made whole for how you were damaged.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So what it leaves you in a position of is hoping that they get it done. And that there's a lawyer, a legal mind who will go before any necessary court and use it as precedent. Yeah?
Well, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they've been harmed apparently.
Yeah.
And so they want to receive reparations or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. So now I think about standing. Now I think about standing, right?
Mhm.
So you bring this case on behalf of these kids who are supposedly damaged by, I don't know, DEI programs or something. I don't know how you measure that and how they were damaged, but the thing is, damages, and if it's supposed to be like financial, making them whole financially, you have to be able to demonstrate that they were harmed financially. And I don't know how a lawyer makes the case that their feelings being hurt by having them learn about what their, grandfathers, great grandfathers, and beyond that, the horrible stuff they did. I don't know how someone makes a case that harmed them so mentally that, it harmed their wages or their ability to get out of bed and go get a job.
Yeah, but that tends to be our knee-jerk reaction to the absurdity that is. And what I'm suggesting is that maybe that shouldn't be our knee-jerk reaction. Maybe we should be cheering for that.
Yes.
Well, the case that they did in Harvard, was it Harvard? Where they did the the quotas, they sued, white people sued for the affirmative action at Harvard. And
so there was that Jewish guy who
and they
not that it matters that he's Jewish or not. I just identified him as a Jewish guy.
Right.
Mhm.
And they won that suit. And so what happened? The end result was Asian students admittance went up and white people went down. So it never works the way they think it's going to work.
But do we care? First off, we didn't want to go to your little stinking ass schools anyway. We don't go to HBCUs. But if by chance someone decided that they wanted to, so now you got precedent. right? Then it's just a matter of arguing damages. I'm not a lawyer. I heard it on TV. It sounds like legal language, right? Why is everybody skeptical about this? How are we going to get anything done if we don't?
Because I mean, I'm going to use one of your phrases. Look at the data, right?
Okay, talk to me about the data.
And the data says that just because it works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for us.
Absolutely.
And so I'm worried that, you know, they will do what they do, which is shop for a judge that's likely to allow them to bring in all manner of nonsense of evidence.
Step one is shop for a judge.
Shop for a judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Step two.
I think they would shop for a judge, and then they would do their, as much as they can, their picking of a jury that would go along with doing all this. And then they would just
pick a jury.
Yeah. And then they would have it actually more favorable to them winning the case for that. Right.
And no matter what, they go to the Supreme Court and will win anyway.
Yeah. And then when we want to turn around, they will find reasons to strike down arguments, evidence, whatever, so that they continue to do what they do, which is have the double standard in the court system for us.
So why can't a smart lawyer who isn't some sort of a pieback do the same thing? Shop for a judge and pick the jury. Right, because they're stupid. That's why.
No, I'll tell you
because
why.
they don't do that.
No, I tell you why. Because the judges on our side really are paying attention to the law. They're not imparting, most of them, I would hope, they're not imparting their own kind of philosophy on a judgment.
Yeah.
That's why they're picking a DT lawyer, because those people don't follow the law.
Right.
So it sounds like what you're saying is,
but at that point, they've established precedents. And if we pick a lawyer and make an argument according to the law, then arguably.
But the best that we could hope for is an actual impartial judge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think is the point that she's making, right? The
Thank
best
you.
that we
That's
can
all
hope.
we want, though. Because the choices between an impartial judge and a partial judge.
Yeah.
Right. We want an impartial judge, and now they've given us precedent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we argue for reparations in court if they prevail? Why can't we argue for reparations?
I don't think at this point that reparations is our lowest hanging fruit now.
Why not?
Well, because people are getting ready to lose jobs and healthcare and, you know, that kind of stuff.
But we could, hey,
reparations could help pay for all that.
We can do more than one thing at a time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't like the what's the lowest hanging fruit argument. Like, let's argue everything.
Yeah.
Right. Go get it.
Okay.
The problem that Ta-Nehisi kind of talked about in his talk was, I think someone asked him the question, what does reparations look like? And he said, essentially, if the result is we write a check, then there was no lessons learned. Nothing was learned if you just write a check. No, I don't want that damn check. But no lessons were learned, not to mention, it's just something you say all the time, Michelle, that this country is not of a mindset. That's not something that you can get done in this federal or state legislatures or any courts. Hell, they won't even allow Conyers bill to be taken up, to just study
it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not to mention, you can look back at all manner of people. The Japanese, I think, the Israel received reparations. There's a precedent for it.
Sure.
But to visit it is just beyond the pale for this country for some reason. I felt like, I'm always frustrated that I think we all are, that the people we expect to advocate for our permanent interests are so weak. They don't tend to fight.
Yeah.
They're kind of punks.
Yeah.
And the other side is really good at using, like I said earlier, the laws that were written to prevent them from their what they tend to do against us. I'm saying, why can't we do the same thing? They're going to go about the business over the next 4 years of trying to and succeeding in some instances of writing laws.
Yeah. They don't bring a wooden spoon to a knife fight.
Right. Like, for instance, this big deportation thing. Okay. I'm going to tell on all the Polish people that are here legally.
There's a lot of
all
them.
y'all.
There's a lot
Right?
of them.
Scoop them off. You from Sweden? He ain't here legal.
They're not looking for them. And
I know they're not. That's why I'm going to point them out. And we have to test them. If you're deporting people here who are here illegally, let's find them all then. All of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell on them.
Yeah, there's a lot of
If you
them to
round
tell
me,
on. That's for sure.
If you're around me, I'm going to tell on you, man. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm going to say something. Because they make the rules, right?
Yeah.
Anybody here illegally has to go. We deporting everybody. It's the biggest deportation movement in the history of the country. Let's get them all out of here then.
What's that saying? If you see something, say something.
That's right. Let's get them all, right? So now you're going to have these little white ladies who are being herded off to these little prisons. If we push the right way, how's that going to look on the news? How's that going to look? Why are you shaking your head?
I'm so
Poor
conflicted.
white ladies.
There are a lot of Polish people in my life too. So
Don't introduce them to Eric or they're
I
going to
know,
be waiting.
no,
Bye-bye.
Better be from
they
here.
can't come here to be on the show.
Better be from here, Pop.
None of them are that I know.
Hey, y'all, the number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
That's the golden time of day. It's a time that
we'd like you to keep listening to the Family Meeting.
all around.
The law office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you, whether it's personal injury, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability. It doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9-LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck, had a few drinks too many, a cop hits you with a DUI or OWI, arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony. Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm. When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home. That's right. You better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles.
Calling all valued members of the American Veterinary Medical Association, or AVMA. Your future retirement goals can be achieved. Introducing the AVMA Retirement Plan, tailored to meet the distinct needs of veterinarians with streamlined administration and reduced burdens. Vets enjoy unrivaled benefits that include service provider oversight, knowledgeable expert investment guidance, and delegated fiduciary services. Veterinarians who use this plan can say goodbye to annual retirement plan audits and annual retirement plan tax reporting. Veterinarians, you can enjoy retirement your way with customizable plans to suit your practice's unique structure. From eligibility to vesting schedules and more, elevate your retirement journey with AVMA's specialized plan. Learn more by sending an email to polaris@polarisadvice.com. Secure your veterinary legacy starting today. Email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through LineStreet Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and LineStreet are not affiliated.
Hey, Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
She's here, Mr. Johnson. Thank you very much. Granny, they're expecting you. You're a little late, so come like this way. Right in, okay?
What? Say it now.
Yeah.
Say it now. Yeah. Me and the Ohio State gonna tell you about a worm. He's the funniest worm in the world. Okay, say it now.
Listen, if you want to succeed, welcome back.
There's a worm in the
Yeah, y'all. 773-763. 927-8773. 763-9278 number. Drunk Ass Adrian is here with us. Michelle, per usual, is here with us hanging out. And we actually probably got it right this weekend, right?
I think so. I'm so excited, aren't you?
I am.
You good?
I'm good.
You checking her computer to make sure she got make sure she can see the comment. Okay. Over there, relax. Yeah, 773-763-9278 is the number. So that's where I was, because at some point, you have to do something. And so I'm always asking the question, well, what is it that you're going to do? What are you going to do? We got to get better at using their crazy ass arguments that they make and the crazy ass laws against them. It's going to be, I've already seen some of the text from some of the things they're proposing. Have you guys seen the stuff they've written? It ain't even grammatically correct.
I don't care about that.
I mean, this is truly the intersection of stupid and lazy, all at the same time. And so they're going to mess around and write this incoherent laws or make efforts to do so. They're going to get them passed. Of course, the legislatures won't read them.
Right.
They'll just pass them based on the title, because that's what people like that do when you're lazy and stupid.
Right.
You just read the title and decide you like it. And then we have to take apart what they've done and use it against them. First off, start off with, your dumb ass can't spell.
I don't think a lot of them read either.
Oh, no, they don't read. No. I can't tell you how many times over the years when I decided to engage some of these imbeciles. And yeah, I'm going to keep calling them imbeciles too. I have no desire to be friends with these people. What do I care if they don't like me? I'm not trying to come together. Okay, that aside. Where they've sent me something, right? Read this. And they've only read the headline.
Yeah.
You've seen it before.
Yeah,
So then you read the article and say, you imbecile, did you even read the article?
Yeah.
It doesn't say what you think it says.
No,
That's why they call it clickbait, right? You just,
Yeah.
you click on it to read the headline and then you don't read any further.
I get right-wing news all the time from people. Email, I get it now just because I like to laugh at these imbeciles. Let me look at my inbox here. So it's always a crazy ass headline. Like Biden falls down the stairs.
Yeah.
And then you read the article and it says that Biden was worried about falling down the stairs.
Right.
That ain't what happened. But then you got these imbeciles running around saying, hey, did you hear Biden fell down the stairs? So you got to count on the fact that the legislation that they attempt to write will be incoherent. It'll be largely not applicable. And hopefully, if the people that we count on to advocate for our permanent interests have the guts, we'll end up tied up in court. Here's the larger problem, though. These people don't care about the courts, and they understand you have no enforcement mechanism. Right? So a court decides, tells the White House, you can't do that. And they do it anyway. What do you do about it?
Right.
It's happening now. I mean, he was supposed to sign those papers showing that it would be an easy transition, and he still hasn't turned those documents in. I don't know why we have conversations about them being logical and us reasoning with them in a logical manner, because they're not. They're nothing they do is reasonable.
No. And they won't change their minds.
Right.
So all this effort to say maybe they'll come around. There's the FAFO movements around, hashtag FAFO.
Right.
There will be no FO for these people. They're not going to never find out. They're going to believe that it's something else other than their own doing when something bad happens to them.
Yeah.
They're going to say Barack Obama did it.
Right. From the basement of his house in Hyde Park.
Right.
They'll never come around. So, who's got time for that? I think that that this is an example of something that we can advocate for. Reparations. It sounds crazy. Everything what they're getting ready to do is crazy. But why not?
Yeah.
Right. There's got to be a judge out there that'll hear this. If anything, it would tie up their efforts. Which really kind of should be the goal, don't you think? You just bottle it up for 4 years and don't let them get anything done?
Well,
Kind of like they've done to us.
well, I don't know that I don't know that it would bottle it up. It would just another circuit court or regional court would have to hear the case. So it would just be other judges hearing other stuff while they're doing other things, and the ACLU and whatever else bringing litigation trying to stop something, the next thing that's on the list in Project 2025, right? So it would be like dueling cases that kind of don't have anything to do with each other, but are still trying to combat the things that either enhance life for somebody that doesn't deserve it, or actually repair the life for someone that's been, abused for so long by federal institutions and state institutions.
Well, so arguably a court could, if you want to talk about the penalties that they can impose, they can't go after the White House,
Right.
but they can go after like undersecretaries and maybe even some of the middle management people in some of these agencies.
Yeah.
Lock them up. Lock them up for whatever the White House decides to do.
But it's got to be criminal though, to be locked up.
If it's contempt of court, if there's a judge's order and then they decide to do something else, you can't go to the White House and get the Orange Menace.
Yeah.
But you can get some of the middle management people, the people that they're relying on to actually do the work. He ain't taking his dumb ass out there.
Yeah.
and
Well,
do it.
first you have to win the case for the judge to say that, yeah, this is being court ordered.
Back to your point, pick the judge.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Skeptic. Go ahead, pick it apart, man.
No. I'm not necessarily trying to pick it apart. I'm just doing my nerd thing.
Oh, okay. Talk out loud then.
I'm doing my nerd thing. So locking them up would only be temporary because it's just contempt of court. And it's, and you can't stay in jail forever for contempt of court.
Look, I saw something where a
You want him in
guy
jail
was
forever?
held in contempt for
Maybe.
395 days.
Yeah, that's still
'cause he
not
wouldn't
forever.
Shut up. But it's a nice long time.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
It is.
but the point is not necessarily to penalize them for their actions as much as to just disrupt the whole process.
Yeah. So then you'd have someone else step in the void that's just as awful as them or worse, right? And so
Lock their asses up too.
Okay. All right.
If it's the judge's order and
Yeah.
you go against the judge's order, there has to be some sort of penalty.
I absolutely agree. I totally agree.
He's humoring me. You see?
No, I think that's the consequences. Judge tells you to do something, you don't. There's consequences. Consequences is jail time.
Right.
What other options do we have? Are there other options?
Other than locking people up.
No, other than this legal way to do it.
I mean, so we don't control anything. Other than the states.
Yeah.
Some of the states you can find safe haven. These state charges in New York, they're not going to go away.
Right. They're going to sit dormant until he's out of office, since you can't be prosecuted as a president. And then when he's out and can never run again, unless he tries to change that while he's in.
Why do we keep talking about him like he's a young person?
Do we talk about him?
Well, saying he's
I think
gonna,
we talk more about him like he's stupid.
Well, but saying, running again, and at once he's
Well,
out of
when I
office,
say
and-
running again, right? So that's kind of tongue in cheek, because you get 2 terms, whether they're consecutive or not consecutive. You get 2 terms as a president.
What did he say when he was on the field? He said on the campaign trail, he said, "Just vote for me one more time, and you won't have to
Well,
worry
this
about
is
voting
exactly what I'm
anymore."
talking about. And after that, you're not running. You're just a dictator, right?
Right. That's what he wants.
Yeah, exactly. And so at that point, that's kind of what I'm getting at is, if he uses these 4 years to try to make it so that he's president again, or he can just hand it over to, a relative like they do in North Korea, or, some other places, where the head of state is a family business.
My contention is he won't live that long. I mean,
You
he's
can't
what,
count on that, though.
78?
You can't count on that.
You can't,
You can
but
count on
but-
him being
Some of the
being
worst
awful.
people live a long ass
long
time.
I know,
time.
but I'm just saying he doesn't have a good diet. He
That don't
doesn't have-
matter. That don't
Yeah,
matter.
fat ass. You can have somebody
That don't. That
eating,
does not.
eating
you-
kale every day,
Yeah.
and keel over dead.
Yeah, you can't.
Um,
You can't count on somebody's health to fail.
But you know, the flip side of that is, I mean, so this may sound like I'm buying into the system, but the elections are run by the states.
Mhm.
Yes.
It does require the vice president to certify.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's the blind spot. So if you've got states sending,
She shouldn't certify.
Mm-hmm.
she'd never do that though, right?
She wouldn't.
She would never do that.
It would never occur to her to do it. She wouldn't do it. She believes in it too much.
But the states are run by the elections. I mean, the elections are run by the
State
states.
electors. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, when it gets to the federal, then that's when you have a problem. But I don't know that anyone could accomplish creating a dictatorship and allow the states to just go unheard.
Not overnight.
Not overnight. And someone that's already stupid and lazy,
Yeah.
most certainly he can. Now, somebody like JD Vance might be.
Yeah. But and see, and here's the thing, though. I think they like the fact that dude is, to some degree, is stupid and lazy and transactional, right?
DT.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because it's them.
Because they can kind of, even though he can go off script and do some crazy stuff, you know, if they do the care enough for him, they will get him to do what they want. And the moneyed interest can get him to do what they want, rubber stamp what it is, and he claims all the glory for it. And and slowly erode every kind of protection that the Constitution provides, that legal recourse provides, and then the next thing you have yourself a dictator. Elections really don't matter anymore. You could get to that point. You could get to that
I mean, I agree with that. It could be. It could be the case. I mean, to answer your question, Michelle, what else can we do? The other thing is fiscal violence.
Yes.
Which is, it sounds like people attempted to do that on Black Friday with Walmart, but I haven't seen the data to know if they succeeded. I saw anecdotal instances of people walking around a Walmart saying it was empty.
I saw those too.
You did? But I don't know if that means anything.
I don't know if it's true.
Was it empty in a red state, in a red county?
That's the question, right? Yeah, I don't know.
They don't need all of our money. They just need some of our money.
Well, I have arguments with lots of friends about Walmart. I always coin it the evil corporation. But I have friends who understandably shop there because they have to, right? There's no place else to shop because they're living in a small city. And the other stores that they have that they can go to, they can't afford what's in them. So I think it's just all so complicated.
Yeah, but the alternative though is if you're going to walk into Walmart or Target or something like that, you can walk out with a cart full of business owners' products who don't support that.
Yes.
Right. So I've been encouraging people, if you go in there, here's a list of Black products you can buy at Walmart. It's mostly hair care products and stuff. I don't need none of that.
They have dolls.
Don't need none of that either. But you still can walk out of Walmart and Target and any number of stores with Black products or any minority-owned company or any company that supports progressive values.
Well, that's coming to an end. I have a news story about that today.
About what?
Them buying those products, Walmart.
Oh, you're talking about the DEI thing?
Yep.
Yeah, and the dude, he was so cowardly. I saw this interview on CBS 2, and they asked him about them stopping their DEI, and he just totally just went around it. And again, it's just like, you just asked dude a question that he didn't give you an answer for, and you didn't even say, that's not what I asked you. You didn't address. I'm so disappointed in people that call themselves journalists.
I'm
so disappointed in them.
It's a lost art.
Yeah.
It's a lost art. Listening to Ta-Nehisi talk, you understand what a journalist is.
You do.
it's fearless.
Yeah.
He talks often about it being just inherently dangerous to be a
Yeah.
journalist, and to not shy away from that.
Right.
The danger involved with being a journalist.
Yeah.
I agree with him on that stuff. It's a tough job to be a journalist.
It used
Yeah.
to be an honorable one, not
Yeah.
so much anymore.
Yeah, they were an essential part of the fabric of what we thought the country was. Although they always have participated in the fairy tale that is this country. I mean, what was Walter Cronkite was supposed to be the most trusted guy in America. Okay, if you think so, but
Well, he was the only guy for a long time too.
yeah. But what was his show? Was like an hour.
Yeah.
Trusted by who?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but how many
Trusted
stories
by
can you
who?
tell in an hour, and then how do you choose which stories you tell?
That would be interesting to look at then and now. We do have a couple calls.
We don't have time for that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to go to a break in a
Okay.
second. So I don't know. You got to consider that. I think I love the idea of pursuing reparations. I think that's low hanging fruit. To the extent that it can go viral, that the discussion can go viral. We got precedent, and they're getting ready to offer reparations to people. I'll take it. And if you're Polish, Swedish, or whatever, watch out for your boy now. I'm gonna tell him where you're at.
You know why I think it's going to have such a hard problem is because them being in opposition to it is a part of white supremacy, right?
Yeah.
And I've come to the conclusion that white supremacy is a cult.
There you go. All right, y'all. The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Beat.
Where would I go?
This is Dave Sanford, chef owner of Polo Cafe. It's polocafe.com. Keep listening to the family meeting every Sunday.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up. This is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information or shoot us an email at polaris@polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today, and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, in Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Short.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITFASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
pardon me, darling, if I alarmed you. Don't mean to bother you. I just wanna get you to pause and slow your walk.
This is Steve Casey, the MacArthur Foundation. Welcome back.
773-763 9278 773-763 9278 is the number. So we got calls, you say?
Yes.
How many we got there?
We have Pam and we have Karen from Chicago. Pam from the West Side and Karen from Chicago.
Oh, let's try Pam first, shall we?
Hi, Pam.
Pam literally just dropped.
Oh, Pam just dropped. Okay, let's do Karen then.
Karen from Chicago. Hi, Karen.
Hey. Hi, everybody. First, I just want to say how nice it was to finally meet you guys in person.
How much did you have to drink last night, Karen? How much did you have to drink?
And I want to say, too, I love Pam from the West Side, too. Love her.
Oh, yeah, we do, too.
We do, too.
Love her. I would love to meet up with her sometime just to hang out because she's one of the coolest people that you guys have in calling in. And it's nice to see, I guess I can say it, drunk ass Adrian, too. Put a face to that, too.
He didn't make it to the party last night either. He didn't make it to the party last night.
No, he did not. So yeah, you guys were talking about, the competence, I think it is going to be something to see them try and, pull together anything. But, just like we saw with family separation, cruelty is the point. And so when they're threatening that mass deportations are going to be bloody, that doesn't require competence. And that's the part that really is frightening. If we think that Proud Boys and Oath Keepers are standing back and standing by to be the jackboot thugs that, go in initially, the J6 prisoners that are doing time for, effing around and finding out, he's going to pardon those guys. And then those people are going to be the ones that are going to be unleashed on innocent people and neighbors that are underserved. That's my fear. And then that coupled with the fact that he wants to give immunity to police officers when they indiscriminately and without, anoint themselves judge, jury, and executioner with Black men and women. That to me is one of those things that I have been thinking long and hard about because I have always disrupted racism whenever I could. At every turn, and I have always tried to be an ally. But now, as a white woman, my allyship is going to look very different. And so I have been doing a lot of introspection about what does that look like? What does resistance look like? What kind of risks am I willing to take? I am absolutely going to start with the, people that are a part of the 53% of white women that voted for Donald Trump, but simultaneously voted to overturn the abortion bans in the states that they live in. I am absolutely going to start with that. But, I am very much thinking about, what does that look like? What does resistance for me and being an ally and coming to the aid of people who are marginalized? I have a trans son. What does that look like, me protecting him? So those are the things that we have to start asking ourselves, and particularly those of us in the white community.
So what's that look like so far? What have you discovered so far in your effort to take a look at it?
So what it looks like is, and I think that, one of the things I'm like, I cannot think so far ahead. And it is kind of like you were saying, Eric, just kind of letting it unfold and watching, and then, but also having, being prepared. Am I, like laying my body down, and I would like to think that that's going to be me. I'm going to be in the streets. But protest is going to be very different now. And if you are a part of a protected group, we have to start saying, what are you willing to do? How far are you willing to go? Because some of us can't even get off our lazy asses to go and vote or get up and go to a Black Lives Matter protest, to show up. So I'm already having conversations like with the coffee groups that I have, some of the white women that I'm friends with. What are we willing to do? What are you willing to do?
So far, what's the answer?
And so far, the answer is, yeah, we're gonna resist this. But I don't even think that they've actually given it the required thought about what it is. There are people that are in the progressive community that tune in to listen to you guys and tune into Stephanie Miller and Richard, who are those conversations are much more in keeping with where I am, that we're ready to go. We're ready to roll and we're ready to go. If there are protests, we're going to go out and protest. A lot of us are planning on going to DC for the People's March. But I do think that, the unknown is, and somewhat known, is that it could get really ugly and bloody. And so I think in that circle, we're ready to roll. But yeah, there are definitely people that, we had a police officer who was shot and killed in Oak Park Friday morning.
Yes.
And I had one particular person at my coffee group, saying, oh, just wait. Now Oak Park is going to try and cover this up, because it was a police officer and because Oak Park high school students had walked out after George Floyd was murdered. And so kind of this, she was like she gets all worked up about this, woke and these liberals, and everything. And she's a Democratic voter, but that's her blind spot, is when it comes to policing and police officers. So there's things like that where they conflate, they conflate the fact that we're protesting against police officers murdering Black people to supporting, to not being okay with a police officer who's gunned down. But by the way, let's not have the conversation about how people are getting these guns and the fact that the Fraternal Order of Police endorse Republican candidates who don't have any interest in doing anything about gun violence in this country.
So let me suggest this to you in the coffee group for a second. It does not have to be. It does not have to be bloody, but it can be violent. And I would suggest to you, because of your spending power, that you guys can engage in a campaign of financial violence.
Yes.
Take their money from them.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Oh, and I did actually, Eric, now that you're mentioning that, when you guys were talking about it sooner, I'm looking for Black-owned businesses to support. I already have a dentist. I go to a coffee shop that is Black-owned, and I've been doing that for a while. But also people should know about Goods Unite Us. There's an app that everybody can download to their phones, and you can see if they're shopping for goods and at companies that support progressive ideals.
That's the answer. You got to take their money from them.
And
they understand that.
I'm not buying. I'm not shopping this Christmas. I'm buying a couple gifts for my grandkids, and I've already talked to my kids and my parents, and we're like, you know what? We're not spending money. We're just going to keep our money to ourselves and just enjoy each other's company.
Listen, if enough of you do that, they will hear you.
Yep.
Because you can have any. They love their racism if it don't cost them anything.
Yep.
But you know what else is good?
Yeah. So those are the conversations that I'm having as well. And, that is very much a way for, women, particularly. Marketing companies allocate 85% of their resources to market to women. Women, this is the time when we're spending more money, this time of year than any other part of the year. So our resistance and our pushback and disgust with what just happened can absolutely come from our pocketbooks. We don't have to spend the money. We don't have to, feed into this corrupt system of, hyper corporatism.
Okay. So is your middle name actually from? Is that your middle name actually?
Karen from Chicago.
Is that your middle name? I know you're Mrs. Chicago, but is that your actual middle name?
No. I have names for both of my grandmothers, Irene.
Okay. So it's Karen Irene from Chicago.
Yeah. exactly.
Drunk ass Adrian wanted to say something.
Yeah. The only thing that I think is helpful is when you decide to withhold your dollars from a certain business, I think it's good to
Mhm.
write them a letter and tell them that you're doing so.
Yes, yes.
The
Absolutely.
first time I heard from a major corporation was when I got some customer service that I was infuriated with, and I wrote a letter and I named all the other businesses that I would go to get what I needed instead of going to that store. And within a week, I got a phone
Mhm.
call from them.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she still should. Keep
Yeah, no,
doing that,
Adrian,
whether
I
you get a
agree.
call or not.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we just switched. We just disconnected from Comcast and just turned in the equipment, and that's exactly what I said. I want you to understand that we're moving away from you because of this.
Yep. Everybody has to do it. We got to do it together and be willing to take your lumps in the meantime. It's going to be an inconvenience. And the problem is too many people can't be inconvenienced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Karen, Irene from Chicago, we appreciate you.
I don't want you to. I want to. Can I say something
Yeah.
to her real quick,
Yeah.
Karen? So how gratifying was it yesterday to sit with a group of women who we were all just angry and motivated?
Yeah.
And, I mean, wasn't it good though?
I
to
missed
be
that
in a,
part.
in
I
a
wasn't
space-
there. They didn't let me
Look, it was great. And Michelle, you're making me cry because
Oh, you too?
yeah, it was a truly an encouraging and bright spot for me to be able to sit with you guys and talk because shit,
fortifying.
shoot,
Oh,
my
gonna get dumped.
I'm sorry.
Because we discussed it.
I don't want to be the white lady. I don't want to be the white lady crying. I'm not, I just.
It's okay.
I don't know, but I just know it really means a lot because, I do think that, the thing, that Timothy Snyder says, we can't isolate. We have to come together in community. We are a coalition. And 53% of white women really, I am furious. I'm furious with them because they are so selfish and just, I can't even articulate it without using 4-letter words. So I'm not going to try. But
oops, they did it
worst part
again.
for me is the betrayal to Black women who that for me is the worst part of it. And it's just, for me, I appreciate the community and the coalition between white women and Black women coming together in common cause. And so to have that, yes, it was extremely gratifying. I am so grateful to you. And everybody that was there. So I really appreciate you
We're
guys.
going to
and I
start
love
calling you
listening
Snotty
to
Karen
you
from
guys.
Chicago now. You're Snotty Karen from Chicago.
And we're gonna get Natalie in office, whatever one she wants.
Senator Nat. That's right.
right.
Karen, thank you so much, girl. Good to see you. Good to meet you.
Thank you,
Don't be a
guys.
stranger, okay?
All right. Yes.
Okay.
Good meeting you. Have a
Likewise.
good one.
Oh, Snotty Karen from Chicago.
I'm the only snotty.
She likes her title.
I like
Snotty
it now.
Snotty
I've
Pippen.
embraced it.
She's embraced
I
it.
tell people.
She's
The P is not even for Peltier. Snotty Pippen.
Fantastic. I love it now. I hated it in the beginning.
You always loved it. Okay, y'all. The number 773. We ain't done yet, man. You're gonna be throwing equipment around. Look at this dude, man. He's just throwing equipment around.
All I did was take my headphones off.
773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Hello, this is Dr. John Artis from Health on Earth Wellness Centers. You can visit us at www.healthonearth.org. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Polaris is introducing a way for you to get empowering financial advice, save, and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone.
Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
This is Miss Lady. Now it's time for the family meeting news.
This is Michelle Peltier, and here's more of what we're following on the family meeting. Music gets to me, right? Walmart's sweeping rollback of its diversity policies is the strongest indication yet of a profound shift taking hold at U.S. companies that are reevaluating the legal and political risks associated with bold programs to bolster historically underrepresented groups. Among other changes, Walmart said it will no longer give priority treatment to suppliers owned by women or minorities. The company also will not renew a 5-year commitment for a racial equity center set up in 2020 after the police killing of George Floyd, and it pulled out of a prominent gay rights index. There will be more companies pulling back from their DEI policies, but it likely won't be a retreat across the board. Walmart confirmed it will no longer consider race and gender as a litmus test to improve diversity when it offers supplier contracts. Walmart says its U.S. businesses source more than $13 billion in goods and services from diverse suppliers in fiscal year 2024, including businesses owned by minorities, women, and veterans. So here you go, people. TD Jakes is in stable condition. You always bothering me. The famous bishop suffered a medical emergency during a sermon last Sunday, all of which was caught on camera for the world to see. While Jakes is reportedly physically recuperating after the incident on Sunday, he also faces legal woes as he just filed a defamation lawsuit against Dwayne Youngblood, a fellow pastor. Youngblood, 57, made the explosive claim on a podcast that Jakes attempted to sexually assault him when he was 18 or 19. He claimed that the bishop tried to groom and kiss him. Then Youngblood, with his attorney, demanded $6 million from the bishop in order to resolve this matter quickly and privately. TD Jakes is currently filing a defamation lawsuit. Okay, y'all. With 62 Black members in Congress and the highest number of Black federal lawmakers in history, the Congressional Black Caucus, CBC, plans to fight, Eric, back against President-elect Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda. There will be 67 Black lawmakers serving in Congress. The 5 Black Republicans are not members of the CBC. In a statement, the CBC says their new members are ready to fight for American voters of all creeds and protect them from Trump's dangerous rhetoric. The CBC will hold the line to protect Americans from danger of extremist Republicans and their hate-filled Project 2025 agenda. The CBC statement read, please visit our webpage, cfmradioshow.com. You can subscribe and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, Spotify, Blue Sky. And also follow our YouTube channel to view us live and receive reminders when we are on the air. I'm Michelle Peltier. We'll be right back.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Hey, family meeting cousins. As you know, we've created a Patreon family meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the family meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
Get yourself together. Grab that
Richard
funky
Chu,
soul.
First Capital Finance Group,
website, www.firstcig. Welcome back.
773-763-9278, 773-9278. Drunk ass Adrian's here with us, y'all. And, old Snotty Pippen herself is here. Oh, Snotty's here. You got a brethren now, old Snotty Karen. Snotty Karen Irene from Chicago.
She actually was crying on air.
Y'all some mess, man.
Just because you guys have no feeling or no emotion.
I got nothing to do with that. If I got a feeling, I'm gonna knock you out.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
Wait.
I'll tell you how I'm feeling, partner.
Wait, back up. Are you knocking me out because you're feeling something, or are you knocking me out because I offended you? What are you knocking me out for?
Because Mama said knock you out.
Okay, LL. Come on, LL.
Yeah, 773-763-9278. Yeah, you prone to get knocked out messing around with me. I'm not gonna get snotty. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. No, but you can kind of understand where Karen is coming from, right?
Mm-mm.
I can. Okay, I can kind of understand where she's coming from.
Tell us about that drunk ass, Adrian. While you're on your second drink now,
right? So
or is it your third?
So I can see where she's coming from, where she has this like grave disappointment in what she, looked at and thought was maybe a sisterhood, right?
Sure.
You were there too, right?
Look, we were all. So I brought the comment up because we were in a room. It was Natalie, it was Karen, it was me, it was Thea, and a couple of other people, and there were moments where it felt so comfortable being with like-minded, angry women because we were angry. And it just felt like home to be able to express ourselves openly, know that we cared about what we cared about, and we cared about the same thing. And that, more importantly, that we want to try to do something about it.
Oh, too many pronouns for me, though.
Yeah, but now think about if you
don't
leave just leave the angry part out, right? And
you can't, but it matters.
I know, but if you just think about like the hopeful part of it, and then thinking, well, I understand why you're angry. No, I understand why you're angry.
What do you say? Hopeful?
The hopeful part.
What are you talking about?
Pre-election.
Okay.
The hopeful part pre-election, right? So you remove the anger.
It was hope. It wasn't reality. It was hope.
Oh, hope, right? And then
why do you distinguish that?
Hold on.
Okay.
Let's not devolve.
Okay. Sorry.
So her disappointment of realizing that there were people out there that she thought would probably stand with her, and people like Michelle and other women that were in the room that would vote for someone that wouldn't destroy, all the gains that were made and things that were fought for over the last 50 years.
I don't think we did a deep dive like that.
I'm just saying I can understand the level of disappointment.
Yeah.
And seeing that, like, she's kept how many times did she say 53% of white women?
Yeah. And I appreciate her for acknowledging that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So that deep disappointment.
Because I don't care.
Because she's she says, hey, I'm a white woman, and 53% of us did this, right? So she's acknowledging that like a majority of her constituents voted for that to do what he is going to do in the face of the things that he said and done and the people he surrounds himself.
Disappointment's the right word. I agree. It's like finding out that the uncle who gives you $1 at Christmas every year and buys you wonderful gifts is Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yep. Yeah. He's been eating people.
I
What?
wasn't ready for that.
He's been eating people. Unc has been eating people.
Well, that's what people thought. That's what you thought about this country.
You know what? Here's the thing though. I'm grateful for the enlightenment, right? Because what you know gives you power. And I was mistaken this whole time.
And hard on me, by the way, too.
And I was really hard on you. I'll still be hard on you, but whatever. Because but I appreciate Karen, and I appreciated the only person we were missing was Miss Tiffany, because she was in the kitchen with you.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. She was. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we were doing our thing in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, your uncle is Jeffrey Dahmer now. The uncle you love so much was Jeffrey Dahmer. And so what do you do with that dude? That I think that's a fantastic analogy, don't you think? Now that you find out that your uncle's Jeffrey Dahmer, what do you think about your uncle now? And what are you going to do about his eating people ass?
You think he's a horrible person and
Yeah.
you don't mess around with him anymore.
Your heart is
and
hurt
you
too,
turn absolutely
Yeah.
because well what happens is you go through the entire relationship, right?
Mhm.
Everything while he was eating people.
We were out there eating chicken and waffles. This dude had just ate a black dude.
Right. So you got to relive all of that and find the lies because as human, you want to know how could I have been that blind? How could this person who I love, who I welcome into my home frequently,
There you go.
turn around and I'm thinking he's a normal dude. He's family. We love him. Comes crack jokes. We think he's a little strange because he is a little strange. He's
'Cause he
different.
eats people.
Right. But we don't know that's why he's strange.
Right.
Right. We just think he's just a little off. Right. Everybody's got an off relative. I have several. My father came from 12 brothers and sisters. So there had to be several strange people.
Statistically, yeah.
And so then you find out that your uncle is Jeffrey Dahmer. And you're like, oh my God, what? So this is where I go.
You don't even want the dollar anymore.
So this is where I go though. What's wrong with me that I missed it? How did I not see that my uncle
Good point.
was that deprived? What did I miss? And then that's
Yeah.
so that's what we're all going through right now.
So now you got to live through it because your name is Dahmer too. And it's
Yes.
like, you related to that dude that was eating people?
Yep.
You that dude.
You know what? And so on that point there, right? And so it's not even like the uncle, right? It's like those people. How did I not see that these people around me were like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm going through right now.
How did I miss it?
I think the bigger question is, how did I know that they were like that? And have to catch hell from Michelle.
What's
for
the
that.
answer to that question? Why do you think you knew and I did not?
I don't know. I just saw it. I was like, I couldn't figure out why nobody could see it but me.
No, I saw it. I saw it.
You just didn't want to believe it.
I listen. I have been saying to people that I see put this stuff. This is not really who we are. I'm just like, you know what? I believe that stuff when somebody shows me this is not who we are. Stop saying that. I do that. People say that stuff on Facebook all the time and social media. People that I know, when something happens, this isn't who we are. And I'm just like, show me the evidence that this is not us. Why are you still saying this is not us over and over and over again? If
All the
this is not
history says
us?
otherwise. All the
And,
history.
you know,
says
you just said this like a month ago. This ain't us.
Right.
So on the flip side of that, this is the kind of person I am. I trust
Hey,
you.
Michelle, what kind of person are
I
you?
trust you until you give me a reason not to.
Well, that's a good position.
And I think a lot of people are the opposite. They don't trust you until you give them a reason to trust you. So I'm not that. I think that's why, because I'm an optimist, right? As you would you describe me that way? In part.
To your own detriment. Yeah.
I believe in the good of humanity and people.
I do too, but I give them rope. I'm like, here's your rope. You know, you're in my circle. Here's some rope. I'm gonna see what you do with this, right? And I give them enough rope to hang themselves.
So you trust till they give you reason not to.
Yes.
Like
yes, but I don't give them the kind of trust that when I see that I can't trust them anymore, that they've harmed me. I don't give them implicit trust and then go, okay, I can't trust you anymore. I look for signs along the way, right? I assume that.
Okay, so you're talking about on the macro level, or the micro level. I get that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that to a large degree, I can't say that I trust people, but I will look for opportunities to trust them.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Right.
interesting.
Yes.
I like
Right.
that.
That's how I am.
And so I can't say that there's trust there until I've seen something that allows me to trust them.
Yes.
I set aside my children. I tell my children all the time, there's nothing you can say or do to change how much I love you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Under any circumstances.
Yeah.
But for everybody else, y'all too.
Well, yeah.
You just waiting.
I mean, y'all have given me reasons, right? So
To trust us.
yeah. So
good.
yeah, but it's zero for me, and the needle moves back and forth based on your
Yeah.
behavior.
Yeah.
Now, here's the challenge I have as a person that feels like he hears voices. If I'm in a room with people who I don't know, especially if it's a lot of white people, I don't trust none of you. You got a longer rope, as you say, that you got to figure out how to navigate with me, because statistically, half of y'all probably support that.
Yeah.
In one way or another. And if it ain't half of you supporting that, it is a chunky number of you have decided to turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
That's what the data says.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So in our room last night over at Rich's, it's probably less likely. Probably one though.
Oh, I bet there were more
Probably
than
one.
Maybe there was 2, 3.
Right. So then it becomes a game. What's that game where you have to figure out who killed who with the pipe?
Clue.
Clue.
Mhm.
It's a game of Clue. Which one of y'all is down with that?
Yeah.
I feel like that everywhere I go.
Yeah, I that's what I said after the election, that I felt suspicion. I just felt that I'm suspicious of everybody. And I'm angry that I feel that way. Cuz I feel like we are the world. We are the children. And I don't think that I think my trusting in this country has led to my absolute disappointment and disillusionment in what we are and who we are.
For instance, I haven't stood for the national anthem in years.
Really?
Refused to.
Really?
Because I know what it means. I know the history. We all know the history.
Yeah.
We just spend our time lying to ourselves about what it is. This whole shining hill on the shining light on the hill or whatever thing that they talk about. I get that, but we got work to do.
Yeah.
And I'm using the word we because I'm in pleasant company, but I don't even use the word we. It's y'all. That's y'all country. It ain't
Yeah,
mine.
I do too. This whole episode of what's happening with DT and all this, I'm like, this is you all's problem to fix.
Yeah. Yep.
This is you all's problem to fix. It's for you all to pull people back from these fairy tales and this. Y'all got to get in the car and go pull these people out of their cult, throw them in the back of the van and detox them.
Yeah, you're not going to get me to pull a muscle.
Yeah.
Trying to get this done.
Yeah. This is you all's problem.
And here's the thing that Eric always says, though, it's the lack of acknowledgement, right? Nobody wants to have that hard conversation. That's where we're stuck, right? I mean, if somebody puts a spotlight on this conversation, be it reparations, be it how screwed up the country is now, the DT is there, I think it would open up a floodgate of ways to resolve this issue. But as Eric always talks about, the country doesn't want to have the conversation. We just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And we can't move anywhere until we have the conversation.
Even Snotty Karen struggled with how far she would go.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you could hear her struggling with, she couldn't even put a noun to it.
Right.
Right? She offered bloody. She did that.
I was kind of proud of that.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know if she was willing to do the bleeding or cause the bleeding.
Yeah.
But she said it's going to be bloody.
Yeah, I mean, she's got pretty broad shoulders. I can see her taking somebody out.
Absolutely. I mean, all the women that were there could. I mean, most women can. Most people can. We just have to be willing to do it.
Yeah, but I always argue this, and if you guys look this up on YouTube or whatever, Brother Minister Malcolm gave a speech one time, the Ballad of the Bullet, and he talked about this country being the only country on earth who is in a position to have a bloodless revolution.
Yeah.
And unless and until you decide to deal with the problem that is, the fairy tale that is, you don't really deal with it. There's violence that has to occur. There has to be violence, and it does not have to be physical violence.
Yeah. I might have made this analogy before. So we're saying this is you all's problem, and we're and generally speaking, this is white folks' problem to fix, right? And so, and I may
Always
have made
has
this,
been, by the way.
yeah. I may have made this analogy before. If we're in an office space, right, that's full of men, and there's one or two women there, and they're feeling the full brunt of misogyny and being passed over and all that, it's not on them to fix it. It's not on the women that are there to fix the problem. They can't keep fighting this uphill battle when all the infrastructure there is to keep men in place and men in power, and for the women to be overlooked and for their full potential, to continually not be unlocked. So just like, it's not for the women to fix the problem that's in an office full of men, it's not for black folks to fix a problem in a country that's full of white people that control the levels of power.
Not at all.
You all got to fix it. You all have to fix it. It's not on us to fix it.
I don't even feel compelled to raise a finger to do it.
Yeah.
But it requires you and us and me to isolate yourself,
so
that you're not subject to the whims
of
them. Trying to remember a quote now. I'll think about it after the break. The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Hello, this is Drunk Ass Adrian. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up. This is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information, or shoot us an email at polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today, and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Hi, this is Michelle from the Family Meeting, and let me tell you about the Villager Gift Boutique located at 2007 Ridge Road in downtown Homewood, Illinois. The Villager is your gift shop for unique, hand-selected, high-quality gifts. The Villager's owner, Valerie, travels internationally to trade shows and fine art festivals to bring a variety of unique, high-quality items, including fine gifts, bath and body products, candles, jewelry, clothing, home accents, leather goods, stationery, gourmet goodies, and so much more. The customer experience is very inviting and ideal for helping you find the perfect gift, especially for those shoppers who are looking for that unique gift for those who are hard to shop for. Oh, and the gift wrapping is complimentary. Shop in person in Homewood, Illinois, or online at thevillagergiftshop.com. That's thevillagergiftshop.com.
Hey, this is Brittany Perry. Did you know there's a Black-owned footwear brand based here in Chicago? Perry Co. Shoes creates affordable luxury footwear and accessories for both men and women. Whether you're in a suit or out with friends, they provide pieces you can wear on a daily basis. Breaking barriers, inspiring style. Visit www.perrycoshoes.com to purchase a pair today. That's www.perrycoshoes.com.
Just like music. No doubt.
This is Oliver Gibson. Welcome back to the family meeting.
773-763-9278 is the number. 773-763-9278. Michelle's dropping a load now. Just wanted y'all to know, in case you were wondering. She's dropping a load. Yeah,
You did on air.
yeah. We were talking about chitlins earlier. We can talk about anything here, right?
Gosh.
I try to be. Thank you for that.
He is.
Be as frightening as possible. Am I succeeding?
I didn't say frightening. I said horrible.
It's the same difference. 773-763-9278 is the number. I want to go back to reparations for a second. Listen, if you guys haven't already, you should look at this interview that Ta-Nehisi Coates did at the University of Chicago. It must have been 2012 or something like that, 14, something like that, where he talked about his essay. And if you haven't already, you should read the essay, The Case for Reparations. Michelle, read the essay.
I will.
Are you a subscriber to The Atlantic?
No.
Should
But I
subs-
read articles from there, but I'm not a subscriber.
Oh, my God.
I can sneak in sometimes.
It is lengthy. It is quite lengthy, but it's deeply researched. And for those of you in Chicago, it's centered around the west side of Chicago.
Stop.
Yes.
It's amazing.
I was trying to get my mother to talk. My mother grew up on the west side and in Lawndale, 1856 South Lawndale. I was trying to get her to recall her youth. My grandparents, her parents, bought a house in Lawndale back in the day. And it had to be during the era where they couldn't get a mortgage. And my mother vaguely remembers some white man, arranging for them to get the house, which is a contract purchase.
Contract purchase. Not a mortgage, a contract.
Contract purchase. And my grandfather, man, that dude worked any number of jobs.
Yep.
Paying for that house, along with my grandmother, who worked at Montgomery Ward. Look her up, by the way, Clara Day.
You should explain the difference between what a mortgage is, and what the contract was, and how it made it so difficult.
So the homeowners, the people who own the homes, they wouldn't sell it to black people because black people couldn't get mortgages.
Right.
That community was redlined. Lenders would not lend to black people who wanted to buy in that community. So the homeowners would sell the house on contract to black people. Essentially, we call it owner financing now, where you paid a mortgage to these homeowners. And they were oftentimes, most of the time, they were white. All the time, they were white. And they would let you get deep into the process of the mortgage and let you miss one payment and take the house from you.
Yep. And that was a stipulation of the contract. If you miss a single payment, they could take it from you. And all the payments that you made up to the one that you missed, there was no equity built.
Nothing.
Oh, wow.
There was no equity.
Nothing. And this is all because, listen, the important part about this is federally sanctioned. This is the federal government saying the banks can't lend in these communities.
Yep.
They were purposely excluding black people from the option of getting mortgages.
Yep.
So when we talk about institutional racism, that's the prime example. And so Ta-Nehisi makes the argument in his essay about everything that happened after slavery as a means for calculating reparations. It's everywhere from the Jim Crow era all the way through the Civil Rights era, and all the things that occurred.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
One of the most striking statistics that came out of that is because of that whole contract deal, 1 in every 5 properties in that area is vacant today because of that situation, that financing, that predatory lending practice back then. To this day, 1 out of every 5 is empty.
It happened all over the country, by the way. It wasn't just the west side of Chicago.
Right.
It's all over the country. You guys have heard of redlining. I bet you most of y'all even read about redlining.
Yeah.
Of course you do, because you're read, but most people haven't read it. Don't even know what it is.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
I've heard people refer to redlining and talk about it in vague terms. Oh, there was redlining. They can't even tell you what it meant.
Right.
So my mother grew up in Lawndale, and I can't be sure because my grandmother Clara Day is her name. I like to say her name as often as possible because she is the most influential woman in my life. With my mother being 1A, she organized the first labor union at Montgomery Ward.
Wow.
She's a
Look
bad
at
girl,
where
man.
you come
She's
from.
a bad girl.
Look
Let me
at
tell
that.
you about Clara Day, man. My
Okay.
mother will laugh at this, right? So my grandmother would not abandon the West Side. This is after she had the resources to get the hell out of the West Side.
Okay.
And it was still bad. So every night when she came home from work, she worked at the unions, local 743, as a business rep. My grandfather would stand on the porch, or the back porch, and watch her. He'd call her from the office. There were no cell phones. So he knew around when she'd get home. He'd stand on the back porch with his pistol so she could back into the garage safely. Now it gets better. Watch this. This is what Clara Day did. All 5'7" of her. One night, Grandpa couldn't be out there with his pistol, and your people decided they wanted her purse. She gets out of her car. She has to get out of the car, squeeze by the car, come out of the garage through the fence to get back in the house, right? So they approach her and say, "Give me the purse," and she's like, "Go away, little boy, go away."
You say 5'7". She was tall.
Yeah, she's a bad girl. And so they grab her purse. She snatches it back. You can't have this tonight, little boy. So they're playing tug of war at night in an alley on the west side of Chicago. They finally hit her in the nose. They punched my mother in the nose. She had to be late 50s, early 60s. I was alive then.
Okay.
She chased these clowns for blocks. Oh my God.
I love her so
She
much.
chased these clowns in her heels for blocks. She was not going to have it. She said eventually they dropped that purse. And she said if I'd have caught him, I'd have killed him with my bare hands.
Grandmother
What a
stories.
hero.
Grandmother stories in our community are crazy. We had my grandmother, she had a revolver that we called Skippy.
Make me have to get Skippy out on you.
Skippy. Now you can imagine why it was called Skippy, but I can remember one time. So my grandmother, she used to be like self-supporting. She used to go and fish on the Mississippi River on Sundays, right? I'm sorry, leave on a Friday night, fish the weekend, and come back to town on Sundays. Clean gut her fish, and she had customers that she would in her station wagon drive around ice coolers of fish and sell fish. That's how she kind of did her supplementary income. So we would always leave to drive from Chicago to what was the name of this place? It was way out west. So we drove to the Mississippi River. So you knew we drove far, right?
My God.
I was in Iowa.
It was in Iowa. I forget
Yeah.
the name of the place.
Bettendorf or something like that.
I forget what it was. So we would leave at midnight because we had to drive for hours. And then when the sun was up, we would start fishing. So her car was giving her trouble, and it was her battery. And she was just like, hand me that Coke out of there. So she, right. So she's
Oh,
at
she
midnight.
knew?
She's at midnight on the streets of Chicago on the south side, pouring Coca-Cola on her battery terminals to clean the corrosion off. Yeah. So that the car would, right? And so she saw some cats walking, and she comes from in front of the hood of the car back, and I'm a teenager. And she says, look in that glove compartment, give me my gun. I swear to God. And I hand her the pistol. She puts it back in her thing and goes out to the car, and she's pouring Coke on her battery terminals. And she's just like, I wish they would. That was my grandmother.
I love it. I love it. Well, my mother was old, so she was my shero.
She was not playing.
She was
She's
doing
like
all that
Eric's
stuff for
grandmother.
me.
She was not playing.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah. My grandfather actually shot somebody from that porch one night. Yeah. Apparently, I know most of the story, but I don't know all of it. But somebody decided they wanted his lawnmower. And they had to get it out of the side door of the garage. So he saw him out there and was like, yo, listen, you can put that back. And dude decided he didn't want to. So grandpa said, here, take this with you then.
Right.
Shot that kid. And for some reason, the kid still had enough energy after being shot to get out into the alley with the lawnmower. And then he died in the alley.
Oh, shut up.
Oh my God. Listen, the story gets better. It gets better. Grandpa was Country Strong. Y'all know what Country Strong
Yeah,
is, right?
yeah.
Look it up if you don't know.
Yeah,
Country Strong.
for
So
sure.
he calls the cops and says, yo, I just shot somebody. They're laying in the alley. Come on, get it. So the cops come and he's explaining the story. So they start pulling on him, trying to handcuff him. Man, Grandpa was like, take this with you. So he broke one cop's nose.
He's like,
and got the other one, gave him a fair one, apparently. So I think he spent a few nights in jail about that one. Yeah. And the only reason that he didn't suffer any jail time, I was in high school, I think, when he did this, was nobody ever claimed the kid's body.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, but that's so sad.
I guess so. But he took something with him. Grandpa gave him something to go with.
So he was in a pauper's grave. Do we know?
I don't know what happened to that dude, but Grandpa finally got out of jail and he was mad, as he said, mad in the wet hand.
Yeah.
He had to miss work.
Yeah. He's retired by then.
Yeah, okay. But you know how our folks would get when they had to miss work.
Yeah. It was after that event, my mother made them move off the west side.
That's where my parents settled when they were part of the migration.
Mm-hmm.
We started out on 13th and Independence.
Okay, right around the corner. We were on 18th and Independence.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
So, yep. That's where we started.
It actually started off on Walcott, where the Chicago Stadium used to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my family's from Mississippi to Chicago, right on 13th and Independence, and moved from there to over in Gresham, Auburn.
Gresham.
Yeah, Auburn, Gresham. Yeah. That's where it's been a while, and I've been drinking.
I know.
Auburn, Gresham. So yeah, I'm dyslexic.
We got calls.
Yeah, we do. Let's see.
You pick it.
Okay. Stella.
Oh, I'm gonna be quiet the whole time.
Hey, Stella.
Hello.
Hi, Stella.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you all?
We're good.
Get to it, girl.
I'm so happy that I can see all of your beautiful faces on YouTube. I've been waiting every week to see you. I feel like you're in my house with me.
That's a little creepy. Okay.
Oh, it's sweet. I know exactly what she means.
Okay.
I was listening to what you were saying about being surprised by some people. When I found out my inner circle of friends, they believe as I do. Not exactly, but that's why they're my inner circle of friends, my relatives that I'm closest to, that I love and I spend most of my time with. We're all like-minded, and it's a nice, cozy little circle of people. But then there's the outer circle of coworkers or friends of friends that we don't have conversations about politics. We don't have conversations about beliefs and stuff. Most of them are work. So at work, being at a school, you don't talk about things like that. But of course, being the election, a few things come out because we're so passionate about what we believe and who we were voting for. And I had two coworkers in particular that one, a woman that I respect with all of my heart, never had any inkling that she would vote for Trump. And she voted for Trump as a, quote, Republican, not as a Trump supporter. And she was completely uninformed, found out, what she knew and what she didn't know by having conversations with another one of my coworkers, the three of us. And my coworker, who was very vocal about what she believed, said, let me send you articles. It was before the election. Let me send you articles. Let me tell you about, why you shouldn't vote for him. And her and I were like tag teaming what we were telling her about how horrible it would be. I don't know who she ended up voting for. I suspect it was still Trump. Broke my heart. But
she was who she was, and I work with her. So I still respect what she does, but what she chose to vote for, that was a completely different story. Another one is a coworker who is young, new teacher, has been with us 2 years. And after the election, I had a conversation with him. And I work with students with emotional needs and stuff, and we were discussing another student. And he started asking me questions about what I told the student, because he said he was brokenhearted because he lost a friend. And he lost a friend that he'd had since he was 17 because he voted for Trump. And my conversation with him was about, I can understand why she's no longer your friend. He respects me. He comes to me for advice all the time. And I think just being the kind of person that people can come to and do trust, I can have these conversations with people that might disagree with me in a way that isn't adversarial. And I told him, I understand why she no longer wants to be your friend, because you voted for financial reasons why you thought he would be better. But those of us that did not vote for him, we vote values. We vote what's important in life. And one of the things he said was, I voted for Trump because, you know, my parents are getting older and I wanted to protect their 401k and their retirement. So my response to him was, I voted for Harris for the people that don't have a 401k, that don't have financially an area where they're set, because no one speaks up for the people that may not have all of the things that his family has always had. One of the reasons. But, you know, I'm not afraid to have these conversations with people, but I do it in a way that's not confrontational. It's not adversarial, but I'm not afraid to speak my mind.
Man, you have tremendous patience, because I would have told that fool to step.
Well, you know, I've been thinking about Stella since the election because of the conversation that she and I had about that particular woman that she works with. Because I was wondering, Stella, if you had any inkling of how she voted, and you're saying you still don't know, which I'm surprised, because I felt like she was open to the conversation.
That's a problem if you don't know, isn't it?
It really is. That's the conundrum, as they say.
Yeah, I feel like
lost her.
I can't hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't hear you.
Keep talking. Keep going.
Keep going, Stella. We can hear you.
Oh, I didn't hear what Michelle was saying. For a little bit, she dropped off. So
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I was just intrigued by I'm glad that you kind of closed the loop on that story for me in my head, because I was wondering about your colleague. I was wondering if you had that conversation with her, and you're telling us that you didn't, and you're not sure who she voted for. But you still should feel good about informing her, right?
Mm-hmm. Y'all got a lot of patience,
sure
man.
I know who she voted for.
Y'all got a lot of patience.
You know, the happy thing about working with students that are students that have emotional and behavioral issues, they say whatever's on their mind, and they don't feel any guilt for saying it. So I had two quick little things back when, prior to the election, I had two younger students that got in a verbal disagreement, and the words that they were throwing around, one of them is a Trump supporter, his family, he's in 6th grade, 11 years old, and he was throwing the word liberal around like an insult at this other student that completely started arguing back at him again. And it was like such an example of what our country is going through right now. But I have a high school student who knew, just because of the way she speaks, not because she told him, that she was a Trump supporter. He started emailing articles to this teacher about why she should not vote for Trump and why she should pick Harris. And he's an extremely intelligent student. And I love that this boy was actually strong enough to do that to somebody that's supposed to be in a position of authority. It was wonderful. I love him.
Yeah. We love you, Stella.
Yes, we do.
Keep providing that sauce for Michelle. She needs it to be softened up.
All of it. Yes. Okay.
Thanks, Stella. Be well.
Next time I got you, Eric. I just need to know what you like.
Red
like
Kool-Aid.
everything.
Red Kool-Aid's good for me. I can't drink it all now. I can't drink it because I got acid reflux and stuff. I can't do that anymore. I gave it up.
Okay.
Thanks, Stella.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
Stella.
All right. Bye, guys.
You bet.
Bye. Shall we go with Danny from Chicago?
Okay, let's go with Danny. Danny, what's up, man?
Yeah, from Rockford. Yeah, I want to address something that nobody's talking about as Trump won the election and why he won it. I haven't heard anybody really address the real reasons, and it has to do with race. Women thought there was a kinship with white women and black women, number one. They thought they was going to have them to do the right thing. But until people in this country understand that this is a very racist country that we live in, we have some white folks who have always been good white folks who helped us out and did the right thing and were fair. But the sad part is we have more white folks in this country who aren't fair and won't play the game fairly out of racist hate for black people. And like I said, as far as the kinship with black women and white women, that never took place because the only way you can have a kinship is if you mix together with white and black women. And we know that hasn't ever happened in this country. So these women voted like their husbands wanted, because it's about that white girl and that black man. And nobody's talking about this. They do not, a portion of this country do not want to mix, and they don't want black girls or boys around their black, white girls and boys. And this is the real issue. It has nothing to do with the Democratic Party. Kamala Harris did everything that was possible for a person to try to be a righteous person and a fair-minded person. The programs that she talked about she was going to do were great. You couldn't deny those things. So how could you not vote for a person who sounds like and her life has showed that she's interested in everybody?
Danny,
And
I'm on
the
your
sad part
Danny, I'm on your side, man.
about black men.
Danny, I'm on your side, man.
black men?
I hear you, man. We talk about it here.
Black men in
Adrian disagrees with me, though.
barbershop, the ones who voted for Trump, that 22%, they signed a death warrant for their sons, because when they dismantle NATO, they're going to have to reinstitute the draft, and their black sons are going to be on the front line.
You said it,
These
man.
Negroes in these barbershops ain't talking about nothing, as well as the churches. When they got us gathered together, they give us no real information. And evangelicals, 82% evangelicals voted for Donald Trump? Was it 82%?
Might as well have been 100.
Yeah, send their asses to war. That's right.
It was something like that. But
Yeah.
I'm writing a book. I'm working on a book that has to do with religion in this country. I want to tell you the name of my book, so get ready for something that's going to be probably one of the most controversial books ever been written. You know what the name of my book is going to be?
What is it?
Jesus Christ has nothing to do with Christianity. And on the cover of my book, it's going to have a picture of the Vatican, and it's going to have a picture of Jesus Christ running away from the Vatican with an afro.
My man. Danny, I appreciate it, man. Listen, man, Danny, send me an email, man. I want to learn more about that book. info@tfmradioshow.com. Let me know when you got it written, okay?
Okay, man. I'll get back with you when I
Okay.
get a chance.
Okay. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Danny writing the book. He's trying to make people mad.
I thought for a minute the title of his book was going to be What Had Happened Was.
But I'm looking for you know what, though?
That's the name of my book.
You thought it was more than race, though.
No. I thought it was a component. Okay, so let me step back just a second. There were
just say that.
No, I thought it was.
If it's more than race, then it's another component.
I thought, yeah. I thought it was a component more than just race.
Disagreeable ass, drunk ass.
See, you were
Just hydrate.
So
Hydrate.
when we had this conversation, you were saying no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that they believed that the economy was better. And I was just like, I think some of them were actually voted, right, using the economy was better under that idiot as a backdrop to having that as an excuse for not voting for the black woman, right? And I say that because look at all the things that you've pointed out that was just insane for those people to believe in, and they believed it. Right? You were just like, look at all this nonsense that they believe in. So I don't think that it was that much of a stretch for some of them to actually believe that the economy was better under Trump just because he said it was. And that's what I'm saying is I believe some of them, in addition to not wanting to vote for the black woman, it made it easier for them to not vote for her because they truly believed that across the board, the economy was better under the idiot than it was Obama and Biden.
So what it sounds like you're saying is that's the ISIS colder argument. Right? So the economy was better under him because he's a white man.
For whatever reason, they believed it. They believed the economy.
I'm telling you,
was
it's
better.
because he was a white
Not
man.
for whatever reason. It's because he's a white guy.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Positively.
But
because
Biden was also a white man, but they believed
But he
it was
was
better.
old.
Now you're throwing in
But
another.
he's palling around with black women.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah, but
yes.
man,
And
so
the Supreme Court.
see, we can
black
dice
woman.
it. We can dice it up any way we want. But I'm just saying, I believe some of them actually believe in their heart that the economy across
It
the
was
board.
because a white man can do it better
No,
than
it
a
was-
white man
it-
who pals around with black women.
I don't
Okay.
think that. I mean,
There-
I get why you think that, but I don't think that. I don't think
Okay.
that at
All right.
Yeah, I argue that. Listen,
Okay.
you saw this in the interview for Ta-Nehisi. There was a questioner who probably was a UFC student, and he talked about that he was going over to Martin Luther King High School to review essays or grade essays or something
Yeah.
like that. And he said,
But
it's a high performing school.
yeah.
It's somewhere in there he said
Yeah,
it's all black,
the but
it's a all performing.
And it was like, no,
as if because it's black, it shouldn't
couldn't-
be.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And Ta-Nehisi immediately corrected him and said,
said,
no,
no,
it's not but,
it's
and.
So he was doing. Was it a symposium or something? I think
It was
I
at
may
the
have seen it.
international
Fireside chat kind of thing at UFC.
I think I may have.
Yeah,
seen it.
international something policy. I forget. IOP.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of your point, though. Well, my point, at least, right, is that even the right-minded white folks, this was arguably a right-minded
Yeah.
white kid,
Yeah.
who still couldn't unfurl himself from saying that, but it was a high-performing school.
Yeah. And this is why I have a problem with people calling themselves progressives and allies. That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Because they wrap themselves in that cloak, right? And they still don't understand that they still have all these blinders on.
You know why? Because they see us as the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, we're one of the good
And
ones.
we're the rule, not the exception.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I have had many conversations with my white counterparts about that. I'm like, you are looking at the news, whatever it is you're looking at, and you're thinking that all this crime and all of these murders,
Right.
the myth of black on black crime and all that, you believe that, and you look at me as being different from black people, and I am not.
Right. You're one of the good
All
ones.
my people are like what I used to say at the time, are like Michelle and Barack Obama. That's my reality, right?
Yep.
College educated,
Yep.
doing some good stuff.
I
in
don't
the
know nobody that's out
community.
there carjacking and
You know,
selling.
Wait. Back up a second. You got some Negroes both of y'all got Negroes in your family that steal cars or something.
None. I don't know nothing.
I
about
do.
it. If they do, they don't tell me.
I have drug addicts in my family. I've got all of that, but they're still not the norm.
So I think the answer is not that I'm like Michelle and Barack, is that we're more than just. That's the argument.
At the time, that would have been a good argument, but what?
There are no carjackers in my
at
family.
my
That you know of.
There are none.
Oh, shut up.
There are no carjackers.
Not even
course it
you.
is.
Not even you at one
No.
point in your life.
There used to be one until I gave it up.
All right, let's get my man Alvin in here. Alvin, what's up, man?
Hi, Alvin.
Hey, Alvin.
La, la, la.
Is he still there?
He fell
Devin?
asleep. Did he just hang up too?
Is he still there, Devin?
Alvin.
Okay, well, there's no Alvin there.
Okay.
Don't worry about that for now. Okay. Yeah. You got somebody in your family that's
No, I don't.
I mean, y'all came in on the west side. Come on, man. You lying to
listen,
yourself.
Listen, just
What?
Our
What?
beginning
Listen
is
to-
not
how
our
about-
beginning.
how about-
Our beginning is not our end.
But that still's not the norm.
And
in
how
his
dare you
family is my
impugn the West
point.
Side?
Yeah.
How dare you impugn the
Am
West
I
Side?
lying? You just got through saying 1 in 5 homes is vacant over there.
But vacancy
Just got through
doesn't.
saying
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that there's a. Stop it.
It means a lot.
Stop it.
Go hang out the west side tonight then. Go hang out over there tonight.
Stop it.
Go over there and have a sandwich or something. Sit on the corner.
Stop.
Have a sandwich. Drunk ass, Adrian. Drunk ass. Crazy, man.
Stop it.
We all got them.
We all do.
Because
Absolutely.
it's not because they're bad people. It's because they're evidence of the crime.
Circumstantial.
People act in an antisocial nature
Yes,
because of what's been done to them.
I totally agree. No argument.
And so you got people in your family that's been done to.
Stop it.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, we don't need to do that today, but yeah, it could be because of something someone did to them to make them that way, but it also could be that they just want to be that way.
Okay, I'm gonna use the same example for you, Michelle.
If
for some reason you decided it's a good idea to stick up a liquor store,
what led you to that?
What must have happened to you?
You needed a drink. You needed a drink. Hey,
I didn't need a drink.
who among us hasn't
I
been
needed
there?
to pay my rent.
To get a drink?
No, to pay my rent.
No,
Why couldn't you pay your rent? Because something happened to
Life
you.
kicked me in the behind. I hear you because like I said before, I used to work at volunteer Catholic charities for the homeless people. They were one paycheck away from being in that line, right? They didn't do anything wrong, that they lost their job or whatever, but they were in this line with their family to get food, and they weren't bad people.
See, that's the fundamental failing of what they call a justice system here, is that they treat the symptoms. They don't treat the symptoms. They treat the action, right?
Mhm.
So by the time you get to the point where you're engaged in antisocial behavior, where you're stealing, lying, killing, or whatever you're doing, something happened to you that nobody ever dealt with.
Right.
And you don't never want to deal with that.
I would say you're probably right about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Which is why the West Side is the way the West Side is.
it absolutely is, because a lot of the people from the Great Migration of the South landed up on the West Side first, because
My grandparents included.
Yeah, my family went from the West Side right to the South Side, and we were the first Black family on that block. And the minute we hit, white folks started disappearing. I can remember when I was a kid, there was another white kid that was my age that used to, on Saturday mornings, throw rocks and hit my attic window and yell, "Hey, yo, Adrian, come out and play." That's how I knew it was time to go out. Dude, he couldn't wait. This was a little white kid who couldn't wait to play with his new Black friend on the block. He would throw rocks at my window in the attic where I slept.
And you would go play?
And I would go play.
slept
And
in
the
the attic?
kids,
They put you in the attic?
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I slept upstairs in the attic.
People put you in the attic, man?
Yeah, man. I had a hump on my back. I had a hump on my back. My parents and brothers slept.
Really comfortable place to do math, too, I bet you.
Yeah.
I am a man.
They put your ass in the attic.
Yeah, I was.
Can I have a bedroom? No, your ass is going to the attic.
I did. And that's where I slept.
You can't be down here in the house with the rest of us. You gotta be in the attic.
My parents and my sister, because it was a small house. My parents and sisters slept on the main floor, the downstairs,
In a comfortable room.
In a comfortable room.
Your ass was in the
And
attic.
they sequestered my ass
Hey,
in the
are
attic.
you an only child?
No, I had.
He was the child they didn't want.
I had 3 brothers and a sister.
Wait a minute. The house is not big enough.
My brother slept up in the attic as well. My sister was the only one that slept downstairs.
Two
with
Joe
my
Rockhead boys put their asses up in the attic.
Yeah.
No, ain't no insulation up there. They'd be all right.
There wasn't.
Open that window.
Right.
There's always one window in
We
the
put posters up for insulation.
Sleep in the attic.
Wait, what were the posters of?
Oh, keep on trucking. All of that. It was all iridescent. You had to have a black light.
The black light posters.
That
Yes.
was
The black light.
So that kid would come and get me, and then we played for a while until his folks was like, "Nope, black folks moving in."
They
we
were
got
like,
to go.
"Is he black?
Let me ask you a
That guy
question.
you're going to play with is black?" Oh no.
I had this discussion with my cousin this week. Why do we think HBCUs are still HBCUs
As opposed to what?
to just mainstream universities?
Because they still teach valuable lessons about the empowerment of black people.
Try this. Because white folks don't want to go there.
I don't know that that's true. I
Mhm.
think that
Why
if
wouldn't
they
you?
knew, I think that if they knew about the quality of education, I mean, how
Nope.
do you describe the white people that are there
Okay,
now?
so here's the thing. Now we're going to stay on when the radio broadcast goes off
They don't want that
and
smoke.
continue to talk about this one, and we can cuss. So you want to
Here,
stay tuned
please.
for that.
Oh man, I got
Yeah.
a story for you.
Yeah, well, let's save it for after the.
I got a story.
We do the thing here, man. All right, y'all. That's all the time we have. I want to thank you. For
Go on YouTube. I got a story for you.
Stay
Go
on YouTube. If they're on YouTube, stay
They're
there
on
because we're going to stay here
Facebook,
for a
too,
while.
apparently.
Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Grant. Peace.
Smoking, cruising, bubble bath, laughing, joking, candlelight, talking about how you and your ex-man fight. Tropical sight, peace and white. Listen, seafood dishes, wine cooler, champagne wishes, waterbed head, fine dude with some riches. You're lovable, huggable. I love the cute Morgan. As long as I'm around and down, nothing could ever trouble you.
I want your body.
Say what?
The way you touch me. Driving in your Caddy. You can be my big daddy. Take it slowly. Every whole night. Driving in your Caddy. You can be my big daddy.
Mama, give me time, I spend quality time. Cute face, haircut, like to have
Okay, so here's my question, y'all. Why do you think HBCUs are still HBCUs?
Well, you posited that because white folks don't want to go there.
You can go to Howard University in Washington, D.C., right? And get a similar education as you can get in Georgetown, American U, Maryland.
Yeah.
Half the price.
Yeah.
In Washington, D.C., the seat of the world power.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? And you can still take classes at Georgetown and Maryland.
Because they don't want it. They don't want that smoke.
I tell you
What smoke?
They don't want the smoke of being uncomfortable, of being, I'm the only one here.
They don't want to go to school with black folks.
No, I think that may be part of it, but I think the other part of it is that they don't believe that it's on par.
They probably believe that implicitly because.
But that can't be true because you can take classes at Georgetown in Maryland.
Look, I'm just telling you the perception of what some white people think going to an HBCU represents. That it's about unity for the people, but is it a quality?
Let me tell you. Let me give you another example. Right? We know it still happens. I moved into Flossmoor in 1998, I think. When my son was born, 96, and it was at the time probably 70% white. Complete opposite now. 70% black. White folks left. Why did they leave?
Yeah. Same reason they left my block.
Same reason they don't want to go to HBCUs.
Yeah, same reason. We left the west side and dropped on 86 and Ada. And it wasn't long after that they left.
Let me ask you a question though. Now that we have Kamala, and Kamala put a spotlight on HBCUs like has never been done before, I don't think in my lifetime. Do you think
HBCUs or just Howard?
HBCUs, because in the conversation on things that I read about her, they would talk about Howard, yes, but they would also say it's an HBCU. So I think the conversation, when you read about it, it was broader than just Howard, and I think the curiosity has been illuminated to the point that people are like, let me take a look at this. I think it might change now.
I think you're right, but I think you're late. This happened right after George Floyd.
Okay.
Because this past year, Howard had 30,000 applications for 1,700 spots, and most HBCUs saw that same surge. Morgan State just broke another record in terms of its enrollment.
But those were black people,
Right.
not white people.
Right. But I don't think it'll ever change in the same
Right.
way that
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
still move out of our neighborhoods when we start moving in.
So wait, are you saying that the uptick in enrollment though is because black people didn't know about HBCUs?
I'm saying they got tired of dealing with white folks.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's never the case that when white folks move in, black folks say there goes the neighborhood and move away.
Right.
It doesn't happen that
We
way.
think the opposite though. We're conditioned to think that it's a better neighborhood, it's a better thing, it's a better whatever.
That fairy tale.
Because it's white people.
That fairy tale.
Yep.
When in fact, the data shows that it gets more dangerous
For us.
because they're gays. They view us as dangerous and they call the police.
Yeah.
It gets dangerous. What happened? What are you doing?
My computer's dying.
Oh, don't spill the
Okay.
drinks over there. Though.
It's never gonna happen.
You want me to give you some?
Yeah, I need you
shoes?
to plug it up. It's over there.
All right. All right.
I don't
Hold
have
on.
keys.
Shoved it in your face. He's like,
Yeah. No warning or nothing.
Well, because he was
Here,
here
plug
last
me in.
week.
Yeah, plug me in.
It's like, what the hell's going on?
God dang it.
Anyway,
All right, so hurry up so you can tell your story, man. We can be done with this stuff. Michelle, what's with your little weak ass battery?
we've been on for 2 hours.
How's your battery doing
I
there,
think it
Adrian?
did pretty good.
I've been plugged in, so I'm good.
Okay.
See, Judgy McJudgerson.
Okay, whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
So I just got here's my story. I just got a letter yesterday from someone that had been looking for me for many years, I suppose. So when I was in the
Somebody like a woman?
no,
like
a
that?
a person and people. So
A human being, you mean?
yeah.
Not male or
So-
female, just a
Right. So when
What's
I
he doing?
was
What's
when,
he doing?
It's intentional.
when
Just
I was
let's
in
just move on.
when I was in the 8th grade, my mother was finishing up she needed to finish up a teaching degree. She did 2 years of junior college in Chicago and wanted to get a degree from a big university. So she finished her last 2 years of school at Eastern Illinois University in Charleston, Illinois.
Oh, she went way down there?
Way down there, little tiny town, Cornhusker town, right? Just so anyway, she took me with her so that she could stay in the married student housing instead of have to live in the dorms with a bunch of high school kids, people, right? So she took me down there, and I went to the grade school in 8th grade, and then when I graduated eighth grade, I went to the high school. So I spent 2 years in this little bitty town so that my mom could get her teaching degree. So I was at Charleston Junior High and Charleston High School. And in both cases, I was the only black kid in my class for 2 years. Out of both the grammar school and the high school, there were only 2 other black kids, but they weren't in my class. They were behind me. So I just kind of thought I was, I just went to the school for, went there for 2 years and came home and went on about my life. So, but I did make some friends, right? So one of the people that I made friends with, I got a letter from him yesterday. And he had been looking for me for years.
$5?
Yeah, I owed him $5 and he wanted his money back because he was running for office. So he had been looking for me for years. I got a letter from him and he said, "Hey, listen, I'm looking for this person. I think you're him. Here's my email. Here's a phone number. Call me if this description matches who." And I was like, "Oh yeah, Dave." So I called the guy.
So you knew who he was.
When I saw the name, I knew who the name was.
Oh my God.
So I called him straight away and I didn't get him, and I left him a message, said, "Hey, yes, some joker that's claiming to be such and such is looking for me. And if you who you say you are and you think I am who I am, yeah, call me back." So we had a conversation. But there have been numerous people that have wondered what happened to me.
Yeah.
And so they have a class reunion coming up next year for the class of 80. Now, I didn't even graduate from there, right? I just went there 1 year, freshman year, right? But it was going to be the class of 80. I actually graduated from a high school here in Chicago in 1980, but they just considered me a part of that class.
Well, you must have made an impact.
And he was just like, yeah, all these people have been asking and wondering what happened to you. And so I was like, okay, cool. Go ahead and add me to the 1980 class. I have been getting all these friend requests from all these people that have been like, I've been wondering what's been happening to you for years. What happened to you? Where'd you go? And let's catch up. And
they're all white people.
All white folks. All white folks. From 1970 something.
Is there a message here?
So the message is this: for
Folks
2
clamoring
years,
for him.
Yeah.
Did they realize you're a raging drunk now? Did they realize this?
They're gonna learn. They're gonna learn. So the message is this: for 2 years, I went from a Chicago inner city kid to a farming town where I was the only black kid in every class year for 2 years.
Okay.
Right. So I didn't know what to think about them, thinking what they thought about me or whatever, but I just lived it. And so when Eric talks about why do you think none of them come to an HBCU, right? Because they don't want to. They just don't want to.
I think you do have to be you have to really be focused on that type of education if you're a white person.
What
right?
type of education are you talking about?
HBCU. You want to know more about the black culture because you can get whatever you need anywhere else.
Wait. So that's the misnomer, of course, right? You go to an HBCU, math is still math, science is still science.
I know that. I'm clear about that.
The only thing that is the black culture is the socialization.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And to the extent you can still live in Prince George's County, Maryland, or Virginia, or wherever you're from, and go to school for half the price.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that? You don't have to be socialized.
Yeah,
like
but why would they? Because
Because
there were other
because you can get the
schools
same
around the
education
area
at half the price.
At half the price that you can go to community college for half the price.
Community college ain't the same as a university.
You think about as a white person. If you're a white person, you have to make a concerted effort to go to an HBCU when you got all of these other options. Why would I, as a white person, do that?
In the age where people are concerned about the high cost of higher education, it makes a ton of sense. People make that decision every single day because it's affordable.
Then why aren't there more white people at Howard?
Because they don't want to deal with
black people.
Discomfort of being the minority. Because they know what it is to be a minority. They don't want to subject themselves to that at all.
So
they see evidence of the crime every day.
Every day.
And this is one of their reactions to knowing the crime.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I don't think that they know the crime until they're in an environment to see
No,
the
they
crime
do.
is being had. No.
There's conditions.
I
like that.
don't
Yeah.
think until a white person is in a room full of black
No,
people, full of brown people, and they're the only ones that they
No.
ever actually recognize the stark reality.
Well, they
of
have the
how
privilege
different.
of not having to do that.
Right,
at
that's my point.
But they know I don't want to be in that environment.
Right.
If you ask any white person, would you want to be black?
They would all say no.
Right.
Hell no. They would say hell no.
Right.
But that's my point about education. They don't have to do that. They have to make a choice to want to change who they are, what they believe, to actually go to an HBCU, and they don't want to do it. They don't have to do it.
Yeah, but I think you kind of answer your own question. Why would they not want to save that money? It's because they don't want to subject themselves to being the other.
Being the other. I mean,
What's funny is the white kids that go to Howard, there's some that's in the band, for instance.
yes.
And they melt right in.
Yeah.
And you know, all of us know here, we welcome people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
don't do
our
that.
problem.
They don't
That's
do that.
our problem as a people.
Well, Howard does not discriminate. You don't.
And I'm not, I'm kumbaya, but I'm saying as a people, we are welcoming and they are not.
You're actually making my point then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you can superimpose that same sentiment on any number of things in society, including the various workplaces, the promotion opportunities. They don't want you there. It's. I'm getting back to your point, Adrian, about it's their problem.
Yes.
They're the perpetrators of the crime.
Yeah.
So anytime you have somebody say that black people are discriminating against white folk, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We just don't.
I think what you said was really, they don't want us there.
Yeah.
That's what you said. They
Even the
don't want
fair-minded
us
ones
there.
don't really want us there.
And I think as a people, we need to grapple with that. They don't want us here. So what are we going to do?
That's the thing. I don't want to be there. Never have
But
wanted
we
to
are
be.
here.
So much like you, in was it fourth grade, is third, fourth grade, or whatever, up until like seventh or eighth grade, I was in a white school in Elm Grove, Illinois. One of only a couple of black folks.
Yeah.
Hated every minute of it because they want to touch your hair.
Yep.
They want you to play basketball on their team, no, but they want to touch your hair. They treat you all kind of ways. And my father was convinced that I was going to kill somebody because there was no way. I had come from the city, and
Yeah.
that ain't what we getting ready to do. To the point where he had to illegally put me in the school in the city to get me out of that situation so I didn't kill somebody.
Yeah.
So there was no way I was going anywhere but a black school when I went to college. No way.
Yeah. I actually had some very good experiences when I was there because I met
I did too, by the way.
Yeah.
When I was playing basketball.
Yeah. No, I developed some good friendships. So out of that, I learned there was one friend that I had. They were pig farmers, had a large pig farm. And I would go and stay with one buddy.
You know any pig farmers?
Yeah. Listen,
No,
some of the
no.
best, some of the best, and I know you don't eat pork, but some of the
I mean,
best
we-
morning sausage I ever had was what came out of their pens.
I mean, my
They-
father had pigs on the farm. He had
Yeah.
Pigs, chicken, squirrel.
Yeah, they had a big pig farm, and on that farm, I learned how to ride motorcycles. They had dirt bikes, and I learned how to. Another farm, another guy, they had a farm, and I learned to ride horses. I would never have had those experiences at that point in my life.
How are those experiences working out for you right now?
I know how to ride a horse, and I know how to ride a motorcycle.
That
I bought a
Is
motorcycle.
that valuable to you?
It was very valuable.
Let me
Yes.
may I before we head out. So I would assume, no, I'm not even gonna go there. My whole beginning was outside of my family. I went to preschool, all white kids, kindergarten. I mean, until I went to college, I was with, even though I will tell people I grew up in the hood, which I did. I grew up in the hood, but my parents sent me to school outside of the hood. So most of my friends, all of my friends were white. It wasn't until I went to college that I'm not saying I didn't have the black experience, because I did, because my family was black. You know, we had the traditional Thanksgivings, all that. My father even did Kwanzaa. Right? Well, you know, my father was very Afrocentric. But I have relationships with white people. I have there are white people in my family, you know, all that stuff. And so for me, this time in my life is more challenging than ever before, because I, for myself, feel like I've got to look at all of those relationships and examine them.
Yeah.
And that's where I am. You know, I mean, I don't have a problem with white people, right? Like I said, I grew up on them, but I am a black woman. That's who I am. I am, you know, as I said the other night, I'm Angela Davis.
right.
Without the afro.
With the Grinch glove on.
Right. But so my grappling with this whole situation is intertwined with all of those relationships that I have with white people. All of those, it's just really been challenging for me at this point in my life. And I feel like I have more clarity now, right now, in this moment, than I ever have before when it comes to this country. Now, the people that I love, some I had to let go, and some we are closer than ever.
So do you guys, I do this. I'm finding myself doing this all the time. I think I've always done it to a degree, but even more so now. Watching TV or in a grocery store or whatever, looking at people.
It's different.
You voted for Trump.
It's different.
I know
really.
you did, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Eric,
cut
yes.
the ass.
Eric, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say there's a veil of suspicion over me.
Mhm.
That's how I look at life now. Did you fucking vote for that?
Yeah. I was driving in here today and I saw a white pickup truck on the Dan Ryan. You motherfucker, you voted.
Yep.
Stop it.
I do it.
Because
I
he
do
had a
it.
flag on the back of his truck. Something about America, something. America, motherfucker. I know. Motherfucker, I should run your dumb ass off the road.
Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in the grocery store thinking the same thing, man. I can't go anywhere. So, if you're listening now, you know this, you're in the room with me. I'm looking at your ass.
Looking at him.
Trying to size you up. Right? You can lie all you want about who you voted for. I'm going to superimpose my belief on you.
You know why that's helpful for you? Because when you superimpose your belief on those people, then they are going to tell you the truth about what they did or didn't do.
Think they will?
I do.
For the big angry black man, that's what they'll do?
They'll either say nothing, which is your answer, or they'll say something. But the no answer is always an answer, right?
I have no intentions of making it comfortable for anybody who harbors that sentiment.
I don't think we should.
I listen, I even admire Stella for being patient enough to do that. But I'd have been like, oh hell. You get your dumb ass out of here right now.
But we need this, Stella.
See, I'm patient too.
Are you?
To some degree. I'm not conciliatory. I'm patient to some degree. I show people a line and I allow them to step over it, and then I'm not patient anymore.
What's that stepping over the line look like? It can't be you can't talk about it. It can't be just that.
No, it's not that. No. I'm okay I'm fine with them talking about what they want to talk about, right? But when they do, just get ready for pushback. So that's the first line is, say something crazy. I'm not letting it go. I'm not the quiet person that you say that, and I'm not going to challenge it at least, right? And then if you want to keep pushing on it, then I'm going to, do my best to work my way through. What is it in you that has you believing this stupid stuff?
You really want an answer to that question?
Yeah.
Are you curious enough to want to know the answer to that question?
It's not for me to know the answer because I kind of already do, right? It's for me to challenge them to think about why they do.
Why?
And have them walk away from me going, maybe something that dude pushed back on has some merit. And I need to think about something.
Why don't you want to know?
I don't care.
And I get that.
Because I would want to know.
Yeah. There's a lot of
women after all they've seen over 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
And they've come to that conclusion at this point. That's like you've touched the stove 8, 9, or 10 times, and you a dumbass still.
And I have no problem with that approach. It's just not my approach all the time. Sometimes it is because in my conversations, I make a judgment about whether I feel someone is a total lost cause or whether I might be able to reach them on some level.
But aren't they though? If they voted for that dude this time around, aren't they isn't that the definition of a lost cause?
Yes and no.
Because they've had 10 years of
yes
input
and no. Yes
to get
and
to
no.
that solution.
Yes and no. Because again, I've also stated that those people, many of them are victims of their own media consumption. They have victims of they have been programmed and taught that what you see on your television can be trusted, even when it isn't. And so over time, it's like the cooking of the lobster, right? You don't just throw it in a hot pan. You put a hot boiling pot, right? You put it in the pot when the water's room temperature, and then you slowly turn up the temperature. And they don't know what's good. They don't know the difference until they're done.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about people who voted for Trump. I don't want to know why. My question is, when I ask why, I'm asking a general racial question. But in terms of this election, and to me, you get no pass. I don't give a fuck why you decided to vote
Yeah.
the way you did. I don't care. There's nothing you can say to me that'll make me understand or appease my.
Yeah.
It's just nothing.
I'm not trying to ask
I'm
them.
not that. I don't give a
I'm not
right,
trying
I don't
to
give a
ask
shit
them
about it
Yeah,
at all.
I'm not trying to ask them why they voted. Right? I'm not trying to engage these people. When I feel like I know someone that maybe had some leanings toward them, I'm not trying to ask them why you, because I'm not trying to do that, right?
Okay.
But when they make a statement and I'm in earshot, now I gotta say something. Because if you didn't want me to hear it, you would have said it where I didn't hear it. So obviously you wanted me to hear. So now we got to have a conversation.
Yeah, but going back to my Jeffrey Dahmer analogy, if you find out that this motherfucker been eating people, there's no more conversations with you. I don't care what you said or did.
He had sex with him first and then he ate him.
Wow.
Too much information.
Wow.
Come on now, if you're gonna talk about it,
That's-
that's what he was really doing.
That's like, okay.
Preserving them.
Wait a minute, did he do it before or after he killed him?
Both.
That's necrophilia now.
He did both.
That's necrophilia.
Where are we talking?
Because you
I
brought
don't
it up.
That's my bad. That's damn.
Don't talk to me about anything crime related or serial killer related, because I know all of that shit.
Well, being a person born in Milwaukee, I had to catch hell about that Jeffrey Dahmer
Oh
shit.
my gosh.
Did you know him? You been in his neighborhood before? Ignorant ass.
Were you in the gay bars looking for love? That's what Jeffrey was
Looking for
doing.
love in
I mean,
all the wrong places.
What did Illinois have? Illinois had the clown guy.
John
Gacy.
Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the damn
Anyway,
shit.
and he was married like twice. I mean, think about a spouse.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I am married to this man. I went to bed with him almost every night, and then I find
did?
out that he's a serial killer.
Talk about disappointment.
Oh, that's beyond. It's kill yourself time.
Oh, that is.
I mean, I don't have
How
to
did I
pay
not
for
see
that,
that
but-
one coming?
Yeah, that's kind of ugly. Ugly stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, if you wish. Okay, we'll do it next week, y'all. Peace.
Bye. Bye.
All right.